And I am back. And another WWE pay per view was a massive disappointment. I'm not even surprised anymore, so let's just get right into it. As always, I'm gonna go over the whole show match by match, and at the end, I am gonna give you my ranking from the worst to the juiciest match we got tonight. Let's start off by going into the first match. The Women's Money in the Bank ladder match started off the show. In general, the whole match was kind of disappointing. The reason I feel it was disappointing is because it never really kicked into second gear when it comes to the hardcore aspect of the ladder match. When you watch a multi-man ladder match, you expect a lot of hardcore moves, a lot of spots with the ladders, and for things to get hardcore and extreme in that ring. And unfortunately, it never really kicked into that second gear. They had a few spots involving the ladders. Rhea Ripley got buried by four of them in the beginning, and then two women did two Canadian destroyers on two ladders that were set up in the ring. Those were the most extreme spots in the match, and unfortunately, they just needed to do a little bit more of that for the match to really feel like it was like they were fighting for something important. And the whole appeal for these matches is that they're gonna go crazy in that ring, and then you're gonna see some spots that you're regularly never gonna see because the ladders are involved. And you didn't really have a lot of that in that match. Aside from that aspect of the match, the in-ring ability in general was nothing to write home about. Alexa Bliss was definitely the MVP of this match, while Julia and Roxanne did a lot of miscommunications and botches, so they need to work in their in-ring ability a little bit more. But it is what it is. Naomi won the match, so she is the Women's Money in the Bank holder. I want to say that I am excited to see what they're going to do with her now that she holds the Money in the Bank briefcase. But this is WWE under Triple H that we are talking about, so nothing's going to happen. They're probably going to have her hold the briefcase for like 5 months, and then she's going to cash in on a random show out of nowhere for no reason. No build up, no storyline, no feud, just her cashing in. So overall, a disappointing match. Alexa Bliss did the best out of everybody in that match, and Naomi is the winner. Let's move on to the second match of the night, which was Dominic Mysterio versus Octagon Jr. I have no idea who Octagon Jr. is. He is one of those wrestlers from AAA that they just acquired, so they had to give him something to do, I guess. This was the most random match of the night. The in-ring skill and in-ring action that we saw was decent. Two luchadors going at it, so that's always a good thing. It wasn't anything crazy or anything mind-blowing. Dominic Mysterio picks up the win and holds on to his title. I didn't even know it was happening until I saw the show advertise it, so there's nothing more for me to say. The third match of the night was the one that had the most build-up and storyline going into it. Lyra versus Becky for the Women's Intercontinental title. Again, this match was nothing really to write home about. Lyra, in my opinion, still needs a lot of work in the ring. She is not there yet. She can't carry a match on her own. And Becky has been away for so long that she needs to get back into the grooves of it. So it was a little too early to throw her in there for her to carry the match against Lyra. Nothing crazy happened in this match. Becky picks up the win. It was a confusing ending when they did it because they were doing roll-ups. So Lyra had Becky rolled up, and then Becky flipped it and had Lyra rolled up, and the ref was counting 1, 2, 3, and Michael Cole was freaking out at the announce table saying that Becky grabbed the tights and that she cheated. But from the angle that we saw, we didn't really see any tights grabbing, so I think it was a clean victory, but they're gonna make it sound like Becky cheated so they can make this feud go on and on and on and waste our time even more. Match, nothing special. It just happened. It was a quick match too, just like the last one with Dominic and the other guy, Junior. Becky won. At the end, Becky made Lyra raise her hand on all four sides of the ring. Becky kept pressing her. She told her to put the belt around her waist, which Lyra did. And then while Becky had her back on Lyra, she did a suplex and knocked her out. So Lyra got her heat back. She wasn't totally humiliated, but she still lost the title. And unfortunately for us, this feud seems like it's going to keep going. So let's see what they're going to do with it. Moving on to the fourth match of the night, it was the man's Money in the Bank ladder match, and this match was definitely the best match of the night. The men's ladder match was exactly what you want to see from a match of this type. Fast, quick-paced action, and big spots involving the ladders. However, big spots were not the only things that happened in this match. We had some story beats. The first thing that happened was Rollins' crew came in and ran interference for him. However, this led to Jacob Fatu and the new guy coming out to clear out the ring. They cleared out the ring, and then they opened up the way for Solo Sikoa. However, when Solo was going up to grab the briefcase, Jacob turned on him, grabbed him by the foot, and then pulled him down. It was supposed to be this big moment of Jacob Fatu turning on him, but nobody in the crowd reacted. This leads to Jacob Fatu absolutely destroying Solo, taking him out of the match. After that, some other spots happen, and the end of the match starts, where Seth Rollins is going up the ladder. LA Knight pulls him down, the fan favorite, but Seth Rollins gets the best of him, climbs back up, and then pulls down the briefcase. While the match itself was fun, the ending was the worst thing we could have gotten. Nobody wanted Rollins to win, and there's no reason for Rollins to win. Rollins is a main eventer. He does not need the money in the bank to get a title shot. He can get a title shot whenever he wants. The point of the money in the bank is for a guy who's not a main eventer yet to become a main eventer. For the money in the bank, it's supposed to be a gimmick of somebody winning it that's not supposed to get a title shot the normal way. That's why you want somebody who's not a main eventer to get this. But Triple H, for some reason, put Rollins to win the Money in the Bank. And Rollins is a main eventer. He does not need this. It is wasting the Money in the Bank and the gimmick behind the Money in the Bank. The best people that had carried Money in the Bank were people in that gray area. Mick Carters that were about to become main eventers but weren't there. And they needed the Money in the Bank. Best example was Dolph Ziggler when he first won the title by cashing in. That was a great moment. It was a guy you don't expect to get a title shot the normal way, so he had to use the Money in the Bank, what the gimmick is supposed to be. But it is what it is. LA Knight, the fan favorite, does not win, and Seth Rollins is the Money in the Bank winner for the men. Now let's move on to the main event. John Cena with Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. This match, like every other match, except the man's ladder match, was slow. This match was really slow, with them just playing around and messing with the crowd. And then when they finally got into the wrestling, it slowed down tremendously. Now, I do understand that, John Cena is a heel and Logan Paul, so they're supposed to wrestle in this slow, boring style to make the crowd boo them, and the baby faces are supposed to be the fast, exciting ones, but that didn't really happen either. And Jey Uso did the most of the work in the beginning of the match. He got his ass beat by Logan and John Cena, and then Logan and John Cena got in an argument, which led to Jey Uso getting the hot tag to Cody Rhodes, and that's when the match kinda started picking up. But it wasn't like going from first gear to second gear. It was like going from 0 gear to 1 gear, if that makes sense. The match was so slow to begin with that when Cody Rhodes went in, it didn't really change it that much. It was still kind of slow for a main event match. The best moment of the main event, top rope move, Logan Paul did to Jey Uso on the announce table. Logan Paul did a beautiful back flip onto Jey Uso, and they were both taken out of the match. John Cena and Cody Rhodes were in the ring. John Cena grabs the title, hits Cody Rhodes as the ref is distracted outside the ring checking on Logan and Jey. A hooded man comes out of nowhere and attacks John Cena, knocks him down, grabs the title, hits him, and then it's revealed that it's R-Truth. So R-Truth is back apparently. I don't know if he's back all the time or if he's back just for now until his contract fully runs out. R-Truth cost John Cena the match. Rhodes got up, did his finisher, and then pinned John Cena 1, 2, 3. So Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso are your winners. There was no cash in after the match. My overall opinion of the show is that it was disappointing. 4 out of the 5 matches we had tonight were slow and boring. The men's ladder match was a fun time, but it was not the best ladder match we have seen. The main event was slow, the opener was slow, the Dominic Mysterio match was so random that everybody forgot it even happened, and the Becky Lynch match was also slow. Am I surprised that this pay-per-view sucked like all the other ones? No, it is WWE under Triple H, so I am used to it. But it's still very, very sad that it keeps happening. I have no idea what this company is planning on doing or how to fix this drought we are in, but let's go on to my rankings. The worst match of the night has to go to Dominic and that random guy he wrestled. After that has to be Lyra and Becky, again slow and boring. Then it has to be the women's ladder match, not as hardcore or fast-paced as I would have liked it, but at least Naomi won, and I did not expect that to happen, so that's a nice plus. The second match of the night has to go to the main event, and that's only because we had John Cena, Logan Paul, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes wrestling, and it got a little bit more exciting at the end. And definitely the juiciest match of the night has to be the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Started off good, it got into second gear fairly quickly. It had a shit ending, but at least the match itself was fun. And yeah, thank you for watching.